Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Next Step Espresso, your daily shot of fitness. I am your host, as always, Johnny Landals from Next Step Nutrition, bringing you the podcast that helps you overcome the industry confusion and get results for good. Today we're on episode 393. Now, goal setting is something we've spoken about previously in the podcast. If you're new and you haven't checked out different episodes, then if you go to the Libsyn website of the podcast, you can search for episodes there, or if you head to nextstepnutrition.co.uk, the blog there is now searchable, and apologies for the lack of images on the blog so far. We're still migrating all of the images across to this sort of new site, and they'll be searchable soon. But the Libsyn address is searchable. Definitely recommend looking that up or scrolling through Spotify episodes. Maybe you can search on Spotify, I'm unsure, but I know on Apple Podcasts there's not a great search function. But anyway, we've talked about in the past, we've talked about behavior goals being much more important than simply outcome goals. Both are useful because an outcome goal helps know where you're going. If you haven't set an outcome goal, then you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So that's very important. But a behavior goal is what you're actually in control of. So the outcome is losing the body fat. And the outcome is, losing the body fat, and the behavior will be like eating more vegetables, exercising more, lowering portions, you name it. But here's an exercise that you can use to help you make more effective goals that you stick to, and this is the 4 circle exercises. Now, what I want you to do is take a piece of paper out and draw 4 circles, and what you should do is label them. 1 is the outcome that you are trying to achieve. Let's call that losing a certain amount of body fat. 2 is this month, 3 is this week, and 4 is today, right? And you can draw these circles in a line, or you can draw them in like a little quadricep, a little sort of like 4-point shape, like a diagonal, like a diamond. But essentially, you want to write down what your outcome is, what you're going to do this month to achieve that, what you're going to do this week to achieve that, and then what you're going to do today to achieve that. So you can see how your outcome leads into certain behaviors, and you can see exactly what you need to do today to help you achieve what you want to achieve this week, to help you achieve what you want to achieve this month, to help you toward that end outcome of losing body fat. So let's say that losing body fat was the goal, then this month you wanted to make sure that you were eating X amount of fruit and veggies and X amount of protein per meal and working on portion guides. So this week you're purely going to focus on eating a certain amount of vegetables, which means that today you need to eat a certain amount of vegetables, right? You attach the behavior goals to your outcome goals, and then you are better able to see exactly what you need to do today in order to move forward. Now, before I leave you with that thought, ladies and gents, so 4 circles to effective goal setting, I wanted to ask you guys a question. We've talked about having a deep why before in order to know what you're doing. This was part of an episode just a few days ago. But I want you to think about the following question. Potentially write this down if you've got a journal that you listen to this podcast with. If not, try to remember it, but I would highly recommend writing this down. Imagine that tonight, as you sleep, your world magically changes. You wake up tomorrow morning with everything you've ever wanted. Every life change, every goal, everything you've ever striven for has been achieved. You don't know how this has happened because you were asleep, but you know that the world is perfect. Open your eyes, stretch, yawn, look around, and now answer these 2 questions. How will you know that your life has changed, and which specific things are different? Answer that over this weekend. You don't need to let me know your answers, but have a think about that because that will help you with your end goals. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Next Step Espresso. If you did, please share it with someone who you think will find it useful, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of the Flat White Chronicles.